All right, number 72, using all of your senses in a reading. I already know that this one is going to be short, but as always, please like this video, comment on it below, click the subscribe button. All of those things help other people to see these videos. I've noticed, and I do this, most of us, most mediums, include a lot of visual or auditory or emotional evidence in our readings. And that's good, but you could do more, right? So I know, like I will say, I'll see in my head, I'll say I have a man, I can tell that he's missing a leg, I can hear orchestral music, and the kind of love that I'm feeling has to be a dad, the way I'm getting this man. And it'll turn out that I have your dad who was missing a leg, who played violin, for example. So, I have what made me think of this is I have a friend who we tease her, we call her the food medium, because she gets so many food references in her readings, and those have been really significant for me because those have led to very specific memories and experiences with people that I love. And so I'm trying to work on this myself, if I can remember to do it, because it's easy to get caught up in a reading, especially once it gets moving. But when I'm doing a reading, I get visual stuff in my head, I get memories, my own memories played back for me, and I feel things, both physical sensations and emotions. And physical sensations, sometimes I'm aware this is what they experienced, and sometimes I actually feel sensations. And very recently, I was connected with someone who broke their collarbone, and I had this really sharp pain. And I allow them to do that with me to help to have me actually feel things, because it's not really happening and it's always temporary. But it really adds a good dimension to your readings if you will allow that, the feeling of physical things. But another thing I do, which is leading up to using all your senses, another thing I try to do, if I remember, is if I get your mom, for example, if I'm reading you and I get your mom, I will try and feel into what was she like as a coworker? What was she like as a wife? What was she like as a sister? Trying to feel into the person you're connected with, what they were like once you know what their relationship is to your client. Feeling into what they were like in their other relationships really gives a rounder picture of them. It's a really good exercise to do. I suggest it, even though that's not the subject of this video. So what I'm trying to remember to do is a similar thing. When I'm connected with someone, what sounds am I aware of? What smells am I aware of? What tastes am I aware of when I'm connected with someone? Sound is pretty easy now, but it's easy because of an exercise I did a long time ago, which was, and I did it for several practice readings in practice circles, and that was starting with a sound. So I'd get my normal visual stuff, I kept ignoring it, I'd feel things, I kept ignoring it, and then finally I would be auditory. I'd either have a memory of sound, or I'd actually hear something clairaudiently, and so now sound is easier for me to get. So if I can remember to do it, I'm going to try and start my readings, just not, because I still do practice circles, and I think I'm going to start with a smell or a taste, and do that just to develop that sense, because it matters. It leads, when you get things clairaudiently, especially if it's not something in a way like if you don't get auditory stuff at all, when you get something, it leads to other evidence. Like I recently could hear, it was like a metal on metal, like a pipe hitting another metal pipe, and then all of a sudden I could feel a wrench in my hand, and I could feel the sensation of tapping something metal, and then all of a sudden that opened up and led to this guy who worked on planes in the war. And so, and it was a really good, really evidential reading. So test all. I don't know, however you start, because some of us just start however we start. Some of us reach for a picture or a feeling or something like that. Try starting with what you don't get much of. And for a lot of us, or most of us, that's smell and taste, right? Try starting with the clair that you don't use very often and see where that leads. I don't have a lot more to say about that. Is it something I'm working on? If you've got suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I will probably do an update video on this at some point in the future. Next week, I'm excited to talk about how mediumship has changed my life, because it has definitely completely changed my life, which is not something I ever saw coming, in a good way. I mean, changed it in a good way. So I'm going to talk about that, specifically how that's happened. As always, like this video, comment on it below, click the subscribe button. That helps people. Thank you for watching this brief video this time, and see you next week. Thanks.